Hello everyone and welcome back to Fatal Fury Final. At last we're here in Southtown. Geese is just around the corner. You may notice there are two characters on the screen, but there aren't two people playing. I'm controlling both Terry and Andy with one controller. Does this make the game harder to play? Yes, definitely, but it is also way more fun. We weren't going to let Terry just burst into Southtown by himself. That's not how we roll. These half-naked guys replace the big guys as the new strong enemy, which is good because they're actually strong. This new control setup also means we get double the chance to knock over motorcycle enemies, so that's a plus. It may seem like Terry and Andy are perfectly synchronized, but Andy actually moves a bit faster than Terry. That can create some weird gaps between their controls, but you're not supposed to play the game like this in the first place, so... And of course, when you try to use both their specials, you get some weird results. They're good results, though, because you basically just create an unstoppable wall of special attacks. So the thing with these new strong enemies is that they need to be knocked over before we can attack them because, well, they have a huge leg. It's just enormous, and if we try to approach them from the front, they'll just kick us right over. You could also block their kick and then attack, but just jump kicking them over is much easier. There are a lot of motorcycles in the stage, like one every screen. It would make the stage a lot more difficult, but we're controlling two characters at once, so they're rather easy to deal with now. Surprisingly enough, the hardest thing to do when controlling both characters is to face enemies that try to gang up on you. You figure that would be easier, because you have a whole second character there to help. But no. No, it is not. The reason being that you have to turn around to give yourself any kind of long-term advantage, and, well, when you turn around, so does the other character. Listen to me talk about strategies for this game mode that isn't actually game mode and is kind of breaking the game. Terry and Andy were always kind of in sync, you know. I guess this is just how that works out. And Andy's going faster because he wants to kill Geese much harder. Let's go with that. That works out. Even though these guys are kind of hard to deal with at first, once you figure out that you can just jump kick to get around their giant tree trunk of a leg, well, they're much easier. Oh yeah, and we can't really throw them, just like the other big enemies. This is still the second hardest stage in the game, if only for the abundance of motorcycles. Sometimes I wonder if what seem like fairly simple beat-em-up tropes to me are actually kind of difficult for other people. Like maybe these guys that have the super long-range kick would be a huge problem. I'm not trying to brag or anything, just thinking about how exposure to a genre could change your ability to analyze it. Usually for the better, I would think. I don't know exactly what Geese sells that got him as rich as he is, but obviously money is no objective with the amount of goons he's hurling at us. Then again, maybe he didn't pay for most of these guys, maybe he blackmailed them. I mean, I guess that means we could be punching potentially innocent people in the face, but that's how we make them our friend. If we've learned anything, it's that. I do believe this is the last time we're going to be seeing a pit in this game, so let's make use of it while we can. I should probably mention, while I'm getting my face kicked in here, that there are a number of continues, I believe 3. That's more than you would need to beat the entire game, obviously, but they're there. Which again makes me think that this game was meant to be harder than it was. Then again, it can take a little bit to get a grasp on all of your options. I mean, having blocking, back attacks, and 4 special attacks in one beat-em-up is a little bit to take in, considering you know, how simple the genre is. At least this kind of retro take on the genre, I mean, because more modern beat-em-ups have more complex mechanics to them. Not that simplicity can't be a good thing, because Streets of Rage 2 is still the best thing ever. It's what you do with your mechanics that matters. I love that the boss fight with Billy starts this way, just with two motorcycles completely destroying you, right as the music starts. Billy is a very agile guy, about as agile as the Duck King, and he has a pole which he can use to vault himself right at us. It's also not terribly easy to jump kick him, because he can and will knock us out of the air before we get to him. Of course, like everyone else, he likes to jump kick at us as well, but we can deal with that easily enough. We're plenty used to jump kicks at this point. For this boss fight, for some reason, having control of two characters seemed to give me an advantage. Normally, it's a huge problem. Billy's attacks may not look as flashy as everybody else's, but they do just as much damage. Billy also has the advantage of being able to call in a seemingly endless number of goons, more than any other boss in the game. The motorcycle enemies would again be a big issue if we didn't have two characters jump kicking at them at once.